Women are now noticing that the men are gone. Men are disengaging from women.
Our world will collapse if men suddenly disappeared.
Feminism told y'all be strong, independent, and alone.
Dating in 2026 has become shallow as fuck, dude.
I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you.
What if the biggest dating trend of 2026 isn't that people are breaking up, but that more men are choosing not to participate at all? Why are so many online discussions asking the same question, where have all the men gone? Is this a real shift, or just another internet narrative? In today's video, we're breaking down why more men say they're stepping away from modern dating, how that could be changing relationship dynamics, and why this topic has sparked heated debates across social media. Stay with us until the very end, because the final point might completely change the way you think about today's dating culture.
The next time someone tells you that our world will collapse if men suddenly disappeared from the planet, show them these pictures. This is a picture of a female chimney sweep. This is a female worker unloading coal from a railway wagon. These are women attending to flour processing in a mill. These are female workers in an asbestos factory. This is a female worker making motor vehicle tires. This is a female grave digger. This is a female welder at work in an aircraft factory. This is a female worker in a granite workshop. These are female laborers carrying sacks of coal. This is a female glass worker carrying a tube of rolled glass. These are female workers working in a sugar refinery. And these ones are female workers in a rubber factory. All of these images come from public domain reviews collection titled Women at Work During World War I. This was a moment when huge numbers of women were recruited into jobs left vacant by men who had gone off to fight in the war. Still, even before and after, women have always done plenty of society's heavy lifting. Only their work was often left off official records, sometimes even considered as mere helping their husbands or families, and then ignored by historians altogether. But women have always worked. We just haven't bothered to consider the full scope of their labor until fairly recently.
The history of humanity, and our very survival, is of amazing cooperation between men and women for a common purpose. We are not enemies. I can't understand why people still fight who's better, men or women. They both are. I love my mom and dad, and there's no reason to compare them. Men and women are both important.
Women are now noticing that the men are gone. So basically, women have told men for 40 years that they don't want to be approached. They have told men that they can do everything by themselves. And it turns out when women keep saying that, men, they go where they're wanted. They'll listen and they'll leave them alone. Mainstream media has been in denial for some time about the fact that men are disengaging from women. It used to be expected that men would court women and romance them. Men would move heaven and earth to attract a woman to be his girlfriend or his wife. Women called that misogyny and patriarchy and rewrote the social contract. Now,
if you were to get rid of all men, you'd basically have cascading failures to the point where women will be basically have to depart en masse all urban centers within a few days. And then you'll have, like, within a month, I think 50% of women are dead. All women disappear. It's going to suck. That'd be a terrible thing. But in terms of their lack of representation in critical infrastructure jobs, you're going to have impacts in, like, the medical field a little bit. But, like, society as we experience it and enjoy it in terms of food supplies, oil supplies, electricity, lights, air conditioning, or if you're in a really cold region, heaven forbid this were to happen in the middle of winter, yeah, any woman in a cold area is dead within 4 days, 5 days, maybe. Now, I don't know if you agree with that. I don't know if you think the women are going to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and be boss babes and figure out how to run electrical plants, nuclear plants. They're going to figure out how to figure out the wastewater. They're going to all of a sudden become truckers and be able to figure this out. All the comforts you guys take for granted would disappear within a week.
Facts are facts. If men disappear, society collapses in 2 weeks. If women disappear, society collapses in 2 decades. That is so true. I'm not sure why people don't accept reality. Everybody has their role, men and women.
No, most women are not going to have a happy ending. Feminism has lied to women, and there's an entire generation of women coping with the fact that most will be alone in the next 50 years. Yes. And the issue you get is all of these influencer women will come out saying they're so happy single. Most women are living paycheck to paycheck. They make about $35,000 a year, and a large majority are in debt. Women have so much debt. So, what is going to happen to them in their old age? Women make poor decisions and keep expecting men to bail them out. But one day, men are going to stop bailing them out, and we are going to see a huge rise in the number of homeless women. People might think I'm mean, but I am just not in the business of selling dreams. I won't do it. I refuse. Like, if I don't think something is likely, if I know that the chance a woman has is if unmarried by 35, actually, if a woman is single at 30, not in a relationship, she's actually more likely to not get married than to get married. So at 30, if she has a boyfriend, her odds are a little bit better. But if she doesn't have a boyfriend, because on average, it takes men 3 years to marry you. So that's something as women we have to take into account. Yes, on average, it's going to take 3 years to convince a guy to marry you. So I'm just not in the business of selling dreams. At 46, it's probably over. I hope she has savings. And what I would do if I were her is I would figure out a financial plan on how to live the rest of my life alone. I would also look for a husband in the process and see what you can do. But I'm just not in the business of selling dreams. And I think that women are just sold a dream over and over again. God's timing. It'll happen. When really you have to put effort into making things happen.
I gave up on a relationship years ago. I like to keep my money, my house, and my cars. I have no problem living alone.
I think the last bit of remaining women who still have patience for men are starting to wake up and realize that men's successes are built on the backs of the unpaid domestic labor of women. They're starting to recognize that their servitude is not an act of valor, but rather a violent and unnecessary personal sacrifice. Women at home with children who gave up their passions and their freedoms, all so their man could keep his. Women who could have been not only equals to these men, but more successful than them if society hadn't chosen for the men to compete with the women instead. Women are starting to realize that men are the highest threat to our mortality rate and that there is no benefit for us to be with a man. There seems to be this mass unspoken recognition that for the betterment of society, it is imperative that we stop mating with them. Women are starting to fall in love with their rage because y'all are dangerous to us. You're a threat. And you're about to see higher divorce rates come along with those all-time low birth rates, and that's not a coincidence.
I felt no obligation to have children, when it seemed clear our institutions don't care whether individual persons are succeeding and we all have equal opportunities. I've been celibate for 3 years now and I feel so empowered. I've been focusing on my career.
Feminism told y'all be strong, independent, and alone, and y'all followed it to the grave. Y'all pushed all the good men away, called submission slavery, and think being difficult is cute. Now y'all 35 and tired, looking around like, oh, where the good men at? Sis, they moved on. Real men want peace, not problems in a lace front and a loud voice. Feminism sold y'all freedom, but they didn't mention the price.
Feminism's price, independence led to loneliness. Now, at 35, the good men are gone. Real men seek peace, not drama. The economy is shifting perspectives.
Men are really making it easy for women to be okay to die alone. Like literally, I was literally at the fucking gas station and this man just kept staring at me. And I saw him, he was handsome, cute, put together, but he just kept staring. And so he left the line, went outside and stood by his car. He pumped his gas. I came out, I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna speak. I walked by his car because I had to walk by his car to get to my car. This man said, hey, yo, you got a name. Everybody has a fucking name. You mean to tell me you can't say, hey, I saw you standing there. I think you're beautiful. My name is so-and-so. What is yours? What happened to men being able to hold a fucking conversation or just approach you properly? Even if I did not want to give you my number, I still would have held a conversation and been polite about it. But when he said, hey, yo, you got a name? I said, nope. And kept fucking walking. I miss the days where men actually approached you in public and knew what the fuck to say. I feel like all the movies like The Wood, How to Be a Player, even that shit taught you how to fucking approach somebody. I mean, The Brothers, at least those movies taught y'all how to have fucking game. Men have lost game in 2026. The internet has ruined y'all game. Y'all don't even know how to approach a woman in public. I don't remember the last time I was approached in public by a man and he had a full sentence. Like, hi, My name is so-and-so. I saw you standing there. I think you're beautiful. What is your name? That is so simple. Why the fuck can't y'all do that?
I have been okay by myself since I was a teenager. I'm not teaching nobody shit.
I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you. They're tired of you pretending to want to take them seriously when you really just want the free drinks. They're tired of going up to you and you being like, thanks for the drink. You know, doing this game you do. Tired. They're tired of the takers. They're tired. They don't want to deal with any of that. They're tired of, oh, you know, you meet all of these qualifications, right? You know, you got all the qualifications, and she's talking to you and she's like, oh, but, you know, there's this one thing. He has a boat and it's red and I don't like the color red. Oh. Right? Because they feel like they can be so picky that they've got everything met, but they can just nitpick about everything, right? They're tired of you. You want guys to come up to you, change your attitude, change your strategy, treat them differently, and that's going to have to happen over a long period of time, right? It took decades to get here. Guys finally saying, I am done with you. And social media played a big part because now they go on socials and they see women talking all their crap. So they're like, oh, I know what's going on now behind the scenes. When I walk away after buying you that drink, I know you're making a fool out of me. They're like, I'm done. You're going to make a fool out of me? Honey, now I'm going to make a fool out of you. I'm going to sit at that bar. I'm going to drink my scotch. I'm not buying you nothing. I'm not even looking your way. That's what's going on. Change your attitude. It's going to take a long time for guys to feel like you've changed genuinely, and then you'll see. But for now, especially in the cities, guys are just sitting back with their drink, and they're just letting this drama unfold. It's hilarious. It's like, you know, they're frazzled cats. Frazzled cats. Ooh. Very entertaining.
Men didn't change. The value of loyalty, respect, and femininity did. We're protecting our peace now. It took me 20 years to rebuild from one 5-year marriage. I lost everything. Why would I risk that again? That was a rhetorical question. Entitlement made me never want to marry ever again. Preach on preacher.
Dating in 2026 has become shallow as fuck, dude. It's like some of these people, I only date women, so that's what I'm gonna talk about. They want you to be fucking up here, dude. Up here, banana bread, dude. Up here, like they want you to be up here, man. Okay, making like crazy fucking money, being ultra giga chad, having great looks, having the money, like just everything, dude. It's like, and they're not willing to even spend a year or two working with you while you get there. They want you to already fucking be there and just fucking live rent-free immediately and fucking have no effort to put into the relationship at all. They just want to leech off somebody. You know? Let's just say this. If I had that kind of money right now, which no matter what's going on, my ex wouldn't have left. I know that. It's all bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit.
Gotta find the right one. We are not all the same. I was left for the same reason. My bar is set extremely high. We'll never lower it again. Dating in 2026 is not about love and happiness. It's about status, economy, and unrealistic expectations. Be positive you will find someone who actually will love you for who you are and not for what you have.
I one time had a guy tell me that it was a red flag that I wouldn't put out essentially after the first date. And then he told me later on that if it had continued past 3 dates, he would have stopped talking to me and ended it. Didn't say how, but I bet he probably would have ghosted me. And this is also the same man who really preached that he wanted a wife and kids, who's like really pushing the essentially like I want a trad wife and really glamorizing that. And I asked him, I was like, you know, do you want to be a husband and be a dad, or do you want to just have possessions like a wife and a child? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, so you've never thought about this? Okay. Another thing that he said that like stopped me in my tracks was, I don't want my wife to work, which is like, I think a lot of men say that because they think that's what women want to hear, and maybe it is what some women want to hear. But for me, I'm going to ask some questions when you say some shit like that. And I was like, well, what if she wants to work? And verbatim, first response, like immediate response, didn't even think about it, was, well, I would never have my wife report to another man. So if she wants to have her own little business and tank $30K a month on a Pilates studio or a coffee shop, then like I'm down to pay for that. But I don't want my wife
reporting to another man. This was also the same person who, when I tried to explain what a luteal phase is, cut me short and was like, I've never heard of that, so obviously that's not true. I genuinely wish that I was kidding, and this is 100% true, and this is the dating market, and this is why we don't date and are celibate.
Recently single. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
You know, Tim, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little confused and concerned as to why, if you cannot ruin a woman's day, if she does not let me ruin her day, this is why you're not dating. That's concerning. I mean, genuinely. So I made a TikTok yesterday, and it said that you should never let a man ruin your day because they're not worth it. And if you actually go back and listen, I said nobody is worth that. And I genuinely mean that, woman or man. No one should have that much power over you that it ruins your day if they don't act the way that you want them to act or react to you or treat you or whatever. They should not have that much power over you. And I die on that hill. But I got a lot of mean messages from men who were mad that I said that a woman should not let him ruin her day. And I'm like, this is proof. They want to ruin our day. They're actually pissed if we do not let them ruin our day. So, don't let them, ladies. This is all the proof you need. Thank you, Tim.
No, women must not fall in the delusion that their gender can allow them to escape accountability. Thank you, Tim, I cackled.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest